We'll compile the Bison. So Bison is a parser generator. Haven't used Bison before, so I'm not really sure what Bison is. Let's see here if I can find Bison. Yeah, so it's one of those packages. And let's go in Bison. And here it's very common. Just configure it. Fix to the tools directory. And then make. We can check and we can install. As we do all these different install steps, I can show you a little bit quicker way to run multiple commands in one go. So if you know that you want to run, for instance, a make command and test something and then install it, you can actually do all of them and it can break if it's unsuccessful. If I run make and then type and, so double and, that will make you available to write another command. So then we write make check and make install. So now it can run all of these in one go. So first I make, then I check, and then I install. So I will wait for this to finish. Now we have installed Bison, so let's go for the next package. So now we're gonna install bzip. And bzip is a zipping tool that yields a little bit better result than the regular gzip. So bzip is a little bit newer, and this you only need to build it, and then you need to make with a prefix into the tools directory install. So that's how you install that into your system. So now we have bzip. So now we can unzip things, and then we go for the next package. Now it's installing the core utils. So let's see, there we have those, and those are packaged with another format as well. And core utils. These are utilities for showing and setting the basic system characteristics. So these are for changing your system settings. So let's configure this, and we also need a prefix again. So this is a normal package, and we will want to enable install program host name. What's the meaning of this? This enables the host name binary to be built and installed. It's disabled by default, but it's required by Perl's test suite. Okay, and the host name command can say what's the name of your system. So that's a very neat command to have available to you. There is other ways to find it, but it's a short and easy way to find out what the name of your system is. And this is a little bit of a longer build process than the packages before, so therefore the configuration is also a little bit longer. It's I think 3 times the build of bzip, or 8 times. Let's see, bzip was very fast, so this is more than 8 times longer. So let's run a make here and wait for it to finish. There, the build was done, and I don't think we will run the tests they say that are expensive tests. I'm not sure. I don't think they're expensive as in cost a lot, but I think they are time consuming. And we're still building the base temp system. So we will build tools again later on when we have built more of the system. So I think we will skip those tests. And let's do diff utils next up. and diff utils. /diff utils. So this is to see changes between files, and it's good if you want to do patches and so on for your code. And many Linux systems that you create a package, you package it down, and then you figure out that, okay, we need to do a minor change here. We don't want to release a totally new package. And then we can make a small little patch with diff utils that we can send with the package, and then we can patch that package with these diff utils. So this is what this program package is. So diff utils package contains program to show differences between files or directories. So we have configured that. We will make install it. And this should not be that long of a process either. So I will go to the next package and look at it. And that's also a small package that will go fast to build. Go down here, we will unpackage it. This is called file. And as you see, it's not large. And this is to give information of file or files. So if you run file on an image, for instance, it can say that this is an image and it has these dimensions and is a GIF, for instance, or a JPEG or a PNG and so on. So you can know what kind of file format it is. Text files can get how many words it is, perhaps, or how many characters. Executables might give you what kind of executable it is, and so on. This can also run tests, but we skip those and just install it. Now we have the file command. Now we need the find utils, and this is to find things in your system. Many of these are self-explanatory by their naming. So find utils. Go in here. Let's configure it. No, we should not configure it. We should do some sed commands here. We need to do some changes. And we actually do the same change that we did before with io f try lock file. And it should be to io end of file scene. And we do that on the gl lib and all the C files in there. And then we do a sed I / une standard to A include sys /sys macros.h. So we want to add the include sys macros to some files here. We do that to gl lib mount list.c, and then we do an echo again, and we add this define that we did earlier. See here, define io in backup and the 100. So this is the fix that we needed for this version of glibc that we talked about earlier. Lib standard io implementation, and then we will configure with prefix tools. And this is also a short build, so they have actually approximate build time in SBU units. So this is 0.3 SBU. So it's a small-ish package. The longer one before was 0.8 SBUs, and that these are compute units depending on how many cores and so you have and how you have set it up. But I'm running single core as I'm running in VirtualBox there. Therefore things can be a little bit longer. So now we do make and make install. So we will have this find utils tooling in our system. So let's look at the next here. You might remember that I talked about awk before. Now we will look at gawk. So this is a GNU awk program, and this is for manipulating text files, pretty much like the sed command. So let's unpack that. Gawk, and I should not type sed. I'm so used to typing sed for all kinds of gzibs to unpack those. And this should be straightforward. We should just configure it again with the prefix tools, and we make and make install. This is also 0.2 SBU, so it's a small package, smallish, so it should be quite fast to make and install. So we make and make install. There is a lot of packages to install. So now we have a package that is a little bit larger. And why the next package is called getText. And why is it a little bit larger, and why will it take a little bit longer to compile? GetText, as the sound may suggest, is for getting text in different languages. So this is a native language support package, and it could have translations for all locales. So if you want to run your Linux system in, for instance, Swedish, as a thing I talk, you can do that with getText. So we need to unpackage that again. Let's see, getText here. And then we go into getText, and we actually go into getText tools, and here we say that Emacs no, so we don't want to run Emacs when we run getText. So it's something that is used to have Emacs support, and Emacs is an editor that is not only an editor, it's pretty much a fully blown environment. But some people really like Emacs, so I'm not saying that it's a bad tool. So Emacs no prevents the configure script from determining where to install Emacs Lisp files, and disable shared. We do not need to install any shared getText libraries at this time. Therefore there is no need to build those. So let's configure this, and when we have configured this, we will need to build a few different packages. So this is a little bit more of an involved build step. Don't think the configuration should be that long. The build will take a little bit more time, and it takes a lot of disk space for some reason. But I guess that's because you have so many different native languages that you support in this package. Maybe you can compile it with less languages and make it smaller. So here we will make it make the GNU lib. So that's one thing we want to make. Then we want to make -c the intel, so the international language support, plural xc, and then we want to make a C source MSG format, so message format, and we want to make -c in the source directory, message merge, and last but not least we want to make -c in the source directory xget text. So these are the things we want to build. So let's run that. And this will take a little bit of time. So now we have built getText. And by this point, we haven't built all the libraries that getText actually needs to run properly. So we'll not run any tests at this point. There is no reason to do that. But we need to copy the actual tooling from getText into the bin directory of tools. So we will copy from the source directory, and we will make a list of the tools that we built. So the message formatter, the message merge command, and the getText command. And all these we will copy to the tools bin directory. So now we have copied those files into our bin, and I will split this video up in multiple videos, but I think that this series is gonna give you something, and I hope that you will learn something from this series, that you will understand Linux a little bit better. If you like this video, give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any comments about this specific video, then leave them in the comment section down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.